It is Wednesday night. It's April 5th, 2023. The first Kicking Out podcast episode in April. I'm Tanner Lee, along with my co-hosts Paul Zarman and Austin Shepard, the new KOP predictions champion after I was going to say bloodbath, but that was just on my part from Friday night's ROH Super Card of Honor. You guys both wiped the floor with me. I'm pretty embarrassed.
Wheeler Yuta, man.
Let you down.
That's all I gotta say.
Let you down. But
there was a couple surprises, though.
There were.
Couple.
I was so confident the Embassy was going to lose. 8 points. Brian Cage is leaving. No, he's just working without a contract. So
that that saved me.
Yeah, it killed me. I lost my 8-pointer, my 7-pointer. So right when I saw that, I was like, I'm not paying attention to the rest of the show. I'm out.
In the dirt sheets 2 days leading up to it, saying Brian Cage agreed to do the job and pass the titles on the way out. Like,
I thought I had it.
I immediately just had regret, buyer's remorse. I'm like, oh.
Yep, I thought I had it, but that's what I get for reading the dirt sheets and all that.
The only thing is, though, is that trios team of AR Fox,
I don't even remember who he teamed up with off the top of my head.
The old NXT guy that's a GCW guy. Oh, God, I should know this, right?
Yeah.
You should.
Jordan Oliver, sorry. Jordan Oliver, AR Fox. The third one I couldn't even tell you now. I think
Malik or Metallic or something like that.
And then the old Grand Malik from
Grand Malik. There we go.
Yeah, the old Grand. They just call him Malik now, right?
Yeah. I think I called him Metallic on the podcast last week. My bad.
I mean, those guys are talented, but they don't bode well as a.
No.
Oh man, I just popped a bottle and I thought it would go a little louder. It wasn't.
Hey, speaking of popping a bottle, what are we drinking tonight, Shep?
Well, I'm still having a hard time to get an old Clase Azul, which I really wanted tonight in the wake of FTR. It didn't get shipped in time, but one of my favorites. We're going to drink a little Jefferson Ocean.
Ah, okay. All right.
This is bourbon aged at sea.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if you look at the thing, this is voyage number 24. There we go, right there.
All right.
I think I drank a little tin cup last week, didn't I?
You did? You did?
Yes.
Which I completely should have rearranged that. I should have had Jefferson's last week, tin cup this week because it's Masters week. Tanner and I would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I screwed it up, okay?
I should have had some sort of mix of Arnold Palmer. I screwed up tonight.
Ooh, man, we call it, when we make them with vodka, we call them John Daly's.
John Daly's, you're right.
Yes.
But Big John hadn't even been down to Augusta in a while, so.
Oh, he's in Augusta.
He's just not playing.
That was a little stiff.
He might be at the local Hooters down there.
He is at the you say that he is. He was set up on Tuesday and his line wrapped around the block to have merch signed. And his new deal with Good Boy Vodka, he has a canned vodka drink for Good Boy Vodka, not available in Indiana. I already checked.
Of course it's not.
I put John Daly and Dax.
They'd be fun to party with, wouldn't they, Shep?
Oh, I mean, yep. My two vices, tequila and vodka, but we're gonna have a little bourbon tonight. It's good. I've had it in the past. I'm trying to get away from bourbon because it gives me heartburn because I'm old. But
it happens.
I'm waiting. The next tequila I have on this show will be Clase Azul if the damn thing ever ships. So,
yeah,
there we go.
And you can have that celebratory drink because you got the KOP title over your head, and by beating myself and Paul, especially Paul can't take it to the squared Circle Expo this weekend now.
Oh,
nope.
I didn't know that was this weekend.
It's Easter weekend, 3 years in a row.
I really wish they would change that because I really wanted to go, and then I found out I have 2 family Easters this weekend, one Saturday, one Sunday, so I can't go.
I think I got that same story last year.
I got text messages to prove it. So
All right.
just found out about the Saturday one last week. So
Oh,
I don't. I've never really followed that, Paul. Do they? I know it's they have the meet and greets and stuff and the merch. Do they have an actual show in the evening?
Oh yeah, Friday night and Saturday night this year. Normally it's just Saturday night to close it out, but this year they got Friday and Saturday.
I think Cardona's headlining, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's at the Wyndham Airport thing, right? So,
Yes.
yeah. All right. First rabbit hole tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
One a minute.
Let's do it.
That hotel, I have spent many hours in there. And you guys have no idea where I'm going with this, do you?
Nope.
All the ballrooms where they have these, I'm guessing the vendors and one of the grand ballroom, I guess, I'm sure they're going to have the matches, right? It's a good size.
Yeah.
You know, it'll fit a couple hundred people. That is where the Indiana Moose Convention is every fall. And there is a lounge in there, and gosh darn, I want to call it Angelino's. That's not it, but I spent a lot of time in that lounge in between Moose Convention sitting stuff. Yes, I'm a Moose fraternity guy. Everybody calls me a dork, whatever. Be proud to be a Moose. But yeah, that's where the Moose. That's a Moose Convention setting every fall. They have a spring one. I don't attend that one, but I know that hotel very, very well. So I can picture those hallways with the things lined up. I would rather go to WrestleCon or whatever they call it than listen to some of the Moose stuff. Not that I'm an anti-Moose, but this will be more entertaining.
Squared Circle Expo is very nice, and right as you get into the halls there, nothing like going to step into the bathroom and having to step out of the way for Rhino. I don't want to get gored. I'm not going to ask that guy to move out of my way. I mean,
he's a pretty big guy. He's a little wide.
Very big guy.
He might not fit in the urinal stalls.
No, I got cursed by Danhausen at last year's show. So,
well, I think that's just probably gibberish coming out of him. But hey, Tanner, you've been to Wrigley Field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine going into the Wrigley Field urinals, which is just and walking up and there's Rhino next to you?
Nope. Nope. Wrigley, for how great it is, it's a dump. Hey. If that makes sense.
Hey.
If that makes sense, for how great it is, it's a dump.
It's getting better.
They are starting to clean it up.
Rabbit hole number 2. Congratulations to the Cubs for going down in history to have the first man struck out for not being in a box soon enough.
I saw that.
It didn't happen to Cleveland, so you know what? I'm all for it.
I liked the pitch clock. I was at spring training. I thought it sped up the game. It made it entertaining. Yep. Now it's going to take a year to get used to it.
It is. I think a lot of the new rules they've implemented are pretty good. It's just going to take a while for everybody to get used to them. You're right. So
yeah.
Is this what are we talking about tonight? Is this a
podcast? We're all over the place.
Everything.
We're going to be reviewing what I thought was a
podcast.
Another really good Dynamite, and then we'll also give our thoughts. We'll let Shep get some drinks in him. We'll give our thoughts at the end on WrestleMania 39. So,
explicit warning.
I told myself, like, look, let's just talk about AEW tonight. The other stuff doesn't exist. I don't want to get an E beside our podcast. Like,
that's why we're starting with the positive. We're starting with the positive tonight.
Paul's trying to antagonize me with it.
No. I've got a feeling one of the three of us is going to put it there. So I think
it might be all three.
Yeah, I think Tanner's already just playing it on. He's already there.
Flippin' mustache. Like, okay, I said flippin'. Just so
yeah, you did.
Podcast guys know. I said flippin' because I've only had a couple.
Weren't we going to do that after Dynamite?
No, I know, but God, you know what? You're 80 years old. You jet black dye your hair, and you have
shoe polish.
77 porn star mustache. Your voice sounds like shit. Get over yourself and take your money. Go sit on an island and leave us the hell alone.
21.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
We didn't talk about the main event of WrestleMania.
No, we will later. Let's talk about some positive stuff first.
Sorry, I'm done.
Let's get out of the weeds. We can't be in the weeds.
I'm gonna turn the ceiling fan on. Hold on a second. It's a little hot here.
All right, we Paul. Just started. So when Shep comes back, we will officially get started recapping this week's Dynamite, and Shep's back. So let's get started recapping this week's Dynamite. Starts off with what's set to be a one-on-one match, Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks. Show opens, Juice is already in the ring. Ricky makes his entrance, and as he gets to the ring, the music hits. Jay White makes his debut. Jay White is officially all elite.
I was pumped.
Beat down.
Was the video board behind the music? Because I felt like we heard the Switchblade music, and then it was just black, and like everybody's like, "Well, that's Jay White's music," but then the Bullet Club thing, I thought it was a little delay there.
And the cameraman kind of screwed up too. It wasn't the cleanest, but good pop from the crowd. Good surprise. I think everybody figured after the reports coming out yesterday that pretty much WWE fumbled the bag with Jay White. I mean, they had interest. Yeah. He had interest. Not sure what happened. The details. Probably Vince and Kenny McMahon came in and said, "We're not signing him." But
maybe
they fumbled the bag.
Had something to do with it.
And he's all elite now. I figured it would happen, but I didn't think it would be tonight. It was a true surprise. I liked it. Getting a Bullet Club vibe in AEW. And I like him against Ricky better than I do him against Juice Robinson, to be honest.
Well, I like, obviously they're gonna bring the Bullet Club to AEW, which I've always been a Bullet Club fan back in the day.
For life.
But I thought it was perfect timing for Tony just to put a little bit of salt in the wound after what we experienced this weekend, what we saw on Monday night, which was absolute garbage.
Worst Raw after Mania ever.
And then all of a sudden you're going to lead off this show with this guy. Good for Tony.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. And I really feel, yes, with Vincent coming back, Kennedy McMahon, Vince, when he coming back, I really felt like Switchblade knew that, like, that's not – I mean, he's going to push Omos over Switchblade.
Yep.
Right? Because of his guys. He pushed Jinder Mahal over guys that are the size of Switchblade and Daniel Bryan's. And so he saw the writing on the wall. So good for him. I think he will be well more utilized in AEW. He'll put on some killer matches with some guys. I see him reliving his rivalry with Eddie Kingston in ROH. He has the freedom to do that. He has the freedom to work probably some independence, even show back up in New Japan. It's a win-win for him, and it's a win-win for AEW.
Absolutely. So, up next, try to keep us moving along here so we can get to the meat of the show after this. Jericho's shown backstage, says he has nothing against Adam Cole. He's pleased to see him back. He had a good match last week, got the win. Britt comes out. He has the girl. He has the streamers. He has the celebration. Meanwhile, Garcia is in the ring, and Jericho says Cole punked him out, and he had to stop his disrespect. And then Keith Lee shows up, all grayed out. This is the first time I've seen the all-natural gray from Keith Lee. So
yeah, he's been rocking the hair, but not the beard, and I like it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Different.
Keith Lee turns up, says Jericho has been the poster child of disrespect since he got here. He admits he has had wars with Cole and isn't fond of him, but he's got respect for him. He then says next week he might teach Jericho a thing or two about respect as the veteran leans back and appears visually scared. Nice little segment.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. It's always nice when you get matchups that you're not used to seeing. And yes, Keith's a bigger guy, but I think Jericho can keep up with him and hold his own.
That was my first question. Keith is a big dude, offensive lineman size, but he moves like a defensive back. Okay.
Yeah.
Jericho's 54 years old. I know he's in some of the best shape of his life, but a couple times you can just tell he's a little sluggish because he's 54 years old. I'm not hating on the guy. It's reality. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how these two would work in the ring. But I just hope it's not a disaster and we harp on it. You know what I mean? Because I like both of them.
I'm looking forward to it just from the aspect that a couple years ago, this was a match we never thought we'd see when Keith was dominating NXT and Jericho was in AEW, of course. But yeah, the contrast of styles will be interesting. But I've got high expectations. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do because I just think both guys are good in the ring. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, Keith Lee does the sunset flip over the top rope to the floor. And 54-year-old Jericho's going to catch 300-plus pound Keith Lee?
Probably not.
I mean, come on, man.
Probably not. But got to think Swerve will get into this match somehow or attack afterwards because they got to keep that going. So
Yep.
Well, as long as we don't see Trench.
The Trench and Parker Boudreaux are both hurt, so they're both out with injuries right now. So
Yeah, I saw Trench was spring training with some of his ex-baseball pros.
yeah, it looks just a little different the last time he was in baseball uniform.
Yeah. Could you think some of those guys were like, I played single A rookie ball with you, and now you're
Yeah. What are you doing,
dude? I'm trying to make the big leagues, and I got this guy showed up saying he knows me.
Sorry, who are you again?
Yeah, go back to the ditch, Trent.
Close enough. Up next, we are set for the first of 4 title defenses for tonight's Dynamite as House of Black takes on the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy for the Trios Championship. Of course, Trent and the Best Friends showing up in style as Sue drops them off.
Awesome.
Popped for Sue as soon as I saw that van.
She got a new one.
Yeah.
The last time she showed up in a Dodge Caravan, tonight we had a Chrysler Pacifica, baby. Come on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Was that the first time we've seen her since the parking lot brawl? Or has she on one other time? Okay. It's been a while though.
What other time did he get
I think Trent's return. Yeah, I think Trent's most recent return she dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. As we get towards the end of the match, we see Cassidy hit the Stun Dog Millionaire, and that allows Beretta to return with a clothesline against Black. He then gets dropped with a pile driver. Then King is hit with the Orange Punch and a pile driver by Beretta, but Black breaks up the pinfall. Matthews almost gets caught with a roll-up from Taylor, but he fires back by stomping Taylor first into the mat to retain their titles. Of course, I had a feeling that Matthews was going to pick up the victory here since, Mrs. Matthews just picked up a victory Saturday night.
Yeah, she's on fire right now. But House of Black, I like this. I know OC and the Best Friends came close to pulling out the victory, and House of Black barely survived, but for a good majority of the first half of the match, House of Black were absolutely dominating, and that's what I want to see out of them. Just taking no prisoners, throwing guys around. And, it's time to put some respect on Buddy Matthews' name. I think he gets overshadowed a little bit by Malachi and even Brody King, but Buddy's one of the more underrated guys in all of professional wrestling, not just AEW. He can flat out go, and I thought it was a really good outing by him tonight. I'm glad he kind of got some of that shine. And it was nice to see them showing Anna Jay backstage looking on Julia Hart and kind of keeping that rivalry going or that feud they're going to build. So a lot of moving parts there, but House of Black's rolling, and the trios is one of the better things AEW's got going on.
We won't see real competition for the House of Black till BCC.
Yeah, it's got to be a while.
And I noticed tonight that I would consider the BCC or House of Black the heels and Best Friends the face.
Yes.
But if you thought about it, they got about the same amount of pop.
Yeah.
Like when that music hit for House of Black, the fans were pumped.
People like House of Black.
Yeah, they do.
They're good wrestlers. They have a unique look and entrance. And it's, two of the guys were threatening to leave the company last year, Malachi and Buddy Matthews. They don't want him to leave. We don't want him to leave.
So I mean, I could see them with that big of a pop. They could kind of have the face, and then obviously BCC's trying to be the uber heel right now. Hopefully leading up to the summer pay-per-views, we get something along those lines. So,
yeah.
Other than that, there's really no trios right now. I know they showed Preston Vance and Rouge and El Dorado, Mexico, Bob, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Mr. Flair.
Sitting ringside, so.
Yeah, I guess, you could, even though the Lucha Bros are now the ROH Tag Champions. Never mind. Well, no, Mark said he'd do trios, didn't he? He just wouldn't do a normal tag.
Mark said he would do trios.
So you could potentially put them in there maybe down the line. But yeah, they're going to have to kind of form a new trios somebody, because Top Flight and AR Fox, they're out now with Dante's injury. Very gruesome. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery.
Man.
That was not fun to watch.
Clean break, though. Clean break. That was a good thing about it. So
yeah. He rolled over. His foot did not move.
Yeah, that was bad.
I love that Tanner saying clean break is positive. Like trying to put a positive spin on it.
I've tried to. It should be a shorter recovery for him than if he didn't have a clean break.
His ankle was putty, but it's okay because it was a clean break.
Hey, fine. I'll go back to my heelish ways, okay?
Wouldn't expect anything else from you. Up next, we hear the commentary team say that we're going to hear from Christian Cage as he breaks his silence. And I was like, all right, so we're going to ignore the fact that he was just buried alive. But okay, that's cool. Christian Cage is then shown near a room with red lighting and smoke as Luchasaurus appears for his return. I thought that was how you bring Luchasaurus back.
Yeah, I thought
you don't have it some big thing. You just have him walk out of a room.
I thought it was short, simple, sweet, perfect. I liked Christian walking in that room because at first I'm like, okay, is he in hell or something because he just got buried alive? Then the red, I'm like, okay, Brood Edge the other day at Mania, or they do something with Brood, and I think that's what the crowd thought. So I see a figure coming out. I'm like, is this going to be Gangrel or something? And then it was Luchasaurus, and he's got like a help me out here, Paul. Who or Shep, either one. Who was the villain off Ninja Turtles? I can't think of his name. Shredder. Thank you. He had like a Shredder look on his shoulder. I was blanking. I saw Kevin Nash in my head playing the part, but he had like a Shredder look to him. I couldn't tell. Was his mask black or is it red now?
I couldn't tell.
It's still black?
I think he's all black.
Everything was black with the red lighting behind.
Okay. So we'll see who these two heels go after next. I don't think it's going to be Jungle Boy. He's doing his own thing now with the pillars. So
the Buried Alive was burying that feud. If obviously it didn't bury Christian alive, so at least it buried that feud.
Well, and I think it was Taz or even Tony that said, interesting to see who they go after next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's going to be something fresh.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make my own rabbit hole right now. Let's go back to Ninja Turtles. I was a Donatello Purple Guy fan. Who were you guys a fan of?
I was Michelangelo.
Okay. Come on, Paul. You're next.
Raph, I've got the anger. I'll be the first to admit that.
All right. Donatello was my guy, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Nobody went Leo. I'm surprised. It means none of us are smart enough to be a leader. Up next, we've got Jamie Hayter versus Riho for the next title defense.
The women's.
I was trying to remember which. This would be number 2.
Did you guys feel like
one?
And I really enjoyed tonight's show, but did you guys feel like up to this point they weren't letting anything breathe? It was just like one thing after another after another after another. I'm like, whew.
They were trying to fit 5 pounds of stuff in 3 pound bag.
Yeah, it was.
And
one segment ends and the next one started.
Yeah, which sometimes I appreciate. Tonight there was a lot of big things going on, so kind of I agree with Tanner. Felt a little rushed, but I was late to the show tonight. I fast forward through a lot of this match.
It was pretty good.
It was okay.
It was.
Okay. I can't get sold by Reno.
I know. It was two of the fan favorites of a lot of the AW crowd, but
at the end, Jamie gave her a ton of respect.
Yeah.
And good for them. And you know what? That's awesome.
Yep.
But it just
I know
it doesn't work for me.
She had a run as the AW women's champion, and it's probably a while.
Rose, right?
That was a huge upset. Yeah, it shocked everybody. It was the first Dynamite or one of the first Dynamites.
That's like Hornswoggle pinning Andre the Giant. Sorry, that was mean.
Well, no, we're not body shaming by any means. It's for the women's division. That is the ultimate underdog against a monster.
After our conversation this morning, you can tell, or this afternoon, you can tell where my brain went. Thank you for that.
So, but
I'm an awful person. Whatever.
But I will say, as much as this show was kind of rushed and not letting it breathe at this point, I'd still rather have that than what Raw did on Monday. Have an hour free. First hour is commercial free, and you only have a minute 14 or 2 minutes and 14 seconds of in-ring action. That's pretty pathetic. So I'd rather have tonight than that. So.
Yeah, well,
But good pretty good women's match. Jamie Hayter got the win, like we all thought. So with
the Ripcord Haterade.
Haterade.
Yeah. Then after the match, she showed respect. We head back. Still celebrating. Head back to Renee Paquette, who's shown with the Outcast, who congratulate Hayter, but tell her not to get attached to the title as they're here to get control by one of them becoming champion. Renee asks, how's that going to work? One title, three of you. They refuse to answer it. And then we move on to 2.0.
But we already know that's going to be there's a seeds planted right there for the ultimate demise of the group and the split of the groups right there, all wanting to go for the title. I really liked how Ruby's now the mouthpiece of this group.
Yeah,
he's kind of taken over as the leader. It took switch quick, but then of course Saraya got some words in, and then Mrs. Juice Robinson, Tony Storm, got some words in too. So keep this going. It's good. I thought we'd see them attack after the match, so I was a little surprised seeing them do a backstage segment, but worked fine.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for, and I felt like they hinted at it because Britt even looked up towards the ramp at one point post match. So it was like, okay, so it was weird.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with the Outcasts, and I guess it's because of the name, this reminds me too much of the New World Order.
Yeah.
Because you had Saraya and Tony acting as Hall and Nash, Ruby being your Hogan, came in and took the lead, just like Hogan did.
At least they're attempting something, if I'm not mistaken. We've never seen any company do with their women's division, though. Do a women's movement like this. So it's something different. Right. I get the comparisons, though, but...
Yeah, I'm glad that this is a women's division thing. We tried that, the Divas versus the women, and that crumbled quickly. Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing this story continue, but are we just going to attack the same 4 or 5 people every time?
Well, there's plenty more they could incorporate into it. They just haven't.
Exactly.
For a while, I thought this was going to be the blood and guts match, and it still could be, but now I'm thinking it's going to be the Elite and the BCC. So.
Well, yeah, BTE led up to that. Jeez.
Yeah, I've changed my tune on that. So.
Yeah. But, all right. Up next, 2.0. Matt, Cool Hand. Yeah. Nope. I don't care for these guys. Sorry. They're good.
You don't like Daddy Magic.
We got to find out what makes his nipples hard.
Daddy Magic's $1 million.
I could have done without that. He is $1 million.
Entertainers.
Don't get me wrong. I like 2.0. I don't like them as part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I want to see those two characters that they are right now on their own. And then I'm all for it. But this is the point where they say they will find out if the Acclaimed will join the Jericho Appreciation Society, or as Cool Hand called it, the Jericho Appreciation Acclaimed Society, the JAAS.
What is this? The Matt Hardy office, Andrade office, whatever the hell that was called, that had a million names. Family office.
The Matt Hardy Andrade Family Office.
That was the worst.
Yeah, but Caster made it sound like they're not joining the Jericho Appreciation Society. Cool Hand apparently didn't get the memo, booked a match, tag team, a 4-on-4 match for Rampage. Parker tries to hit the catchphrase, and Billy Gunn stops him and says it needs to be done by professionals, says let's show him how it's done. I liked Max Caster just doing the sideways steps back and forth. That was great.
Fine rap by Caster tonight, but I was disappointed. I was ready for him to take a shot at Vince. I was ready for him at least take a shot at his mustache. And
or the US or the Purchase or Mania or something.
He might have been told not to be honest. That's the only thing I can think. But
with the big announcement that TK still had coming tonight.
Yeah, he might have been told not to, but still fine. I mean, he still had the crowd ooh and ah a few times. So, but I was really thinking, okay, this is the week to let him go. Let him go.
Mm-hmm. But, Shep's not joining us right now as he had to go do his thing. So I'm going to jump down a quick rabbit hole.
Do it.
Before he gets back.
Rabbit hole number 3.
I think it would have been great if a fake story, if somebody would have released a story that said Ted Turner was backing Tony Khan to buy WWE, just because then everything would come full circle because Vince bought WCW from Ted. Now Ted's buying WWE from Vince.
Yeah, it would have been funny if that's a fake story. You're right.
Exactly. I mean,
clickbait.
Ted probably could have done it, but I don't think TK wanted it.
I don't even know what Ted Turner's up to nowadays. He's sold so much of his stuff. I don't even know.
Sitting on a beach sipping on mojitos.
I don't, because he doesn't really have any stock in the game in Warner Discovery anymore. So I don't.
Nope.
I don't know what he does. He's not involved with the Braves anymore. So I don't know.
Ted Turner's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Up next is MJF Day. A lot to recap here. He sings. He gets handed the key to the city. Apparently, the city. What was he called? The city supervisor.
He got booed out of the building.
Well, I heard commentary say he's got a lot of heat with the town. So
most politicians do have heat with their towns,
especially right now as we are entering election season.
Right.
I could go down another rabbit hole there, but we're not going to. We're going to stay out of politics.
Nobody would understand that one except the select few. So,
right. But we see some great stuff from MJF here.
I loved it. I
did too.
I like when AEW goes to Long Island. I'm pumped because MJF's gonna get the babyface reaction, and he's gonna act like a babyface. It's a completely different MJF. I mean, we saw a little teased a little bit in the fall with the Regal and the Moxley stuff, but when he goes to Long Island, MJF acts different. The band's out there playing great. He's dancing.
Pennies
he's singing.
From heaven.
Pennies from heaven. He's looking sharp. Like you said, he gets the key to the city from the supervisor of the city who gets booed out of the arena. Then MJF takes Mike, says, "I'm on the mic now." They can cheer, and he gets his own "You deserve it" chant going, and just awesome stuff out of MJF tonight. Took shots at the pillars, especially Jack Perry.
Took a shot at Cody.
Took a shot at Cody too. Cody mentioned twice tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Everybody was taking shots at Cody tonight.
But you notice he got on the rings and he got on the ropes and he did the Cody let's get up chant. Like I felt like that was a direct shot at Cody.
Yeah, it was. There was a quick sign I saw tonight, and we'll get talking about Cody.
Cody laughed my ass.
Yeah,
off.
I did see that. I was like,
it was quick. It was showed once, but it was perfect.
Yeah, it was. I even got, as a big Cody fan, I even popped up like, all right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I did too.
But MJF, I loved when they do things like this, like the Dinner Debonair 2 years ago during the pandemic era. This stuff's good.
I didn't realize MJF can kind of sing.
He can sing. Have you seen the Rosie video when he was a child?
Yep, I was going to say he was on the Rosie O'Donnell show because he could sing.
He just belts when he was a child.
Yeah.
Shep's like, I got to go find this video.
I have not seen
YouTube
that video.
YouTube it. I got it. That's
good.
like the only Rosie O'Donnell clip I've ever seen. But
yeah,
that's he's what can't MJF do? I mean, I tweeted from our account. Tony Khan, pay the man whatever the hell he wants because he's that good.
What can he do? Wrestle every week?
Doesn't need to. He could.
I know he doesn't. I know. He's a star.
I'm more thoroughly entertained by MJF right now than Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And they both work the same amount of matches.
Yep.
Who's entertained by Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns ain't bad.
He's come a long way.
Yeah,
he's come a long way.
He ain't bad. Now, it took the help of Paul Heyman. Okay?
Exactly. You put Paul Heyman behind anybody and they take off.
The wise man.
Because it's Paul Heyman.
And so I think lately, just because I watched it, because I knew Cody was facing in WrestleMania, I felt like his work on the mic of the last 30 to 35 days has been, since the Rumble, I think it's been great.
Mm-hmm.
So, Roman's thoroughly entertaining, and I love the Bloodline story with the Usos, and then you had Sami Zayn involved. That was $1 million. Like, that was just as good as this Roman and Cody stuff. And then Ron Jeremy took back over the company and shit on everything.
We'll get to it at the end. We'll get to it at the end.
I'm out of whiskey. I gotta go back.
Yeah. So, Ron Jeremy.
I mean, they both been accused for the same thing, right?
You're right. You're
Well,
not wrong.
Only Ron Jeremy got paid to do it for a while.
Vince was paying.
Vince paid for it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Money was exchanged. That's all that matters. Up next, Sammy Guevara versus Commander.
Well, we forgot Jungle Boy attacked MJF.
No, the mask.
Oh yeah,
he was playing the cymbals.
Which made, like, at first I'm thinking
he knew somebody was back there.
Well, you knew somebody was back there, but you're thinking, all right, you're in New York, somebody's gonna wear a mask. Like, I'm gonna get hate for it, whatever. My Twitter handle's on there. Go ahead and send me hate. And then I'm like, oh, he wasn't in the original band, so I figured it was a plan. So made sense.
But I did like Shivani's commentary. Keep choking him, Jungle Boy. Keep choking him.
Yeah. Shivani's $1 million.
He does. He hates him.
He's like a slob, but he's $1 million.
Hey, you know what? At least his clothes fit.
Okay, and I'm going to get to that in our main event. Why the hell was Rick Knox not the official in the tag match?
He did the trios match tonight, but
yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but we saw Aubrey twice tonight.
Yeah, so it's a tag match for the championship. You're gonna have Rick Knox there
because Paul Turner actually follows the rules, and
Paul Turner was awful tonight.
Well, what I was gonna say is he was gonna disqualify FTR, but Cash saved him.
If you go back and rewatch, and I know we're skipping the main event, but I don't give a shit. If you watch that, every count especially the last 5 to 6 minutes of that match, Paul Turner made himself out of position and delayed the count. And even in the final pinfall, he was delayed. He did it 6 or 7 times tonight. And like the more, like, in my mind, I knew FTR, so we're going to keep FTR, right? It's my boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew we had to have some cliffhangers, okay? To make it entertaining. It's professional wrestling. But the way he was doing it, like 6 or 7 counts, he was just out of position, delayed. And if you go back and watch the final pinfall, Dax had one of the guns, I think it was Colton. Dax had him pinned for a second or maybe even a second and a half before they waited to Cash had Austin pinned and then did the double count. I thought he did a shitty job tonight. I thought Pants could do better tonight. Mr. Dockers himself.
Yeah,
Now,
get the dude some pants. Get your
right,
T-shirt. Kickingoutshop.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Get your T-shirt. I gotta order mine tomorrow.
It's about time.
Yeah, I know. I've been busy.
But
Yeah.
What we talk? Where we stopped before we got? I went off on a tangent again.
Guevara and Commander.
and I liked how this happened too. Guevara's music hits, so he comes out because he's part of this pillar storyline, but he's coming out because of his next match. He picks up Triple B.
Title.
MJF's pissed. He goes over, puts in Jack's face. Jack gets pissed, puts in MJF's face again, and shoves it to him. I thought that was perfectly played. I actually thought Guevara was really good tonight, and for me to say something good about him means he did something really good.
Yeah, I agree with Tanner on this one.
Yeah, so do I. Commander, I think, fantastic talent. Way too much rope walking for me tonight. He was on the ropes a lot, and it ended up costing him. MJF, yeah. Sammy Guevara. There we
Pillar.
go. One and the same. Yeah. Hit the GTH for the victory after the match. He says he just did something the champion never does, which is wrestle. He says the shit he was just watching was American Idol. Points out that when he and MJF actually got in the ring back in 2021, he had him beat until Sean Spears got involved. He says if they're the four pillars, it's safe to say that MJF's side wasn't built by him. It was built by others, as MJF lied his way to the top, and he admits he is almost jealous of it. Guevara asks who the hell MJF is, as he was Cody's friend, then he wasn't. He was Tony's friend, then he wasn't. He was in their circle, then he wasn't. The Pinnacle, then he wasn't. The Firm, then he wasn't. Guevara claims MJF bought his way to being a pillar, whereas he bought and put his heart and soul into this place, and he's going nowhere. He's not going anywhere else, and he will be damned if he's letting a rich bitch tear things down with the bidding war of 2024. He then claims that he is the world heavyweight champion.
I liked it. I know a lot of the IWC didn't think it land, but I was like, of course it's not going to land though. It's in MJF's hometown, Long Island, New York. They're going to boo anybody, especially guys taking a shot at MJF. And I thought it was good. I liked him. You know, he wasn't telling any lies. MJF's always cheating and using people to climb up the ladder. And it was interesting. I mean, even calling out Sean Spears. Haven't heard Spears' name mentioned in a while. So a lot of guys getting mentioned tonight we haven't heard in a while. But no, I thought it was really good by Guevara. You know, they showed Darby watching, they showed Jack watching, they showed MJF watching. So I really think we are going to get a four pillars match at Double or Nothing. That's where this is going.
Yeah.
I liked it out of Sammy, but as he played the crowd, and he played it pretty well. And I know there would have been a fine involved, but I feel he needed to tell him to F off.
Yeah, because he was dropping a lot of shit bombs. It was almost getting too repetitive. He
had a couple curse words in there, and I'm thinking, man, just throw the final F word in there.
Yep.
You know, let Tony pay the whatever fine it is, and shock him. Because I think the crowd would have been shocked if he did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it. I'm not a Sammy Guevara fan. He's an asshole. Okay, but
he's doing his job.
Yeah, he's doing his job. And at this point, with the way he was talking, I thought that was a pretty good little promo by the little dude.
And the guy can go in the ring. I mean, he proves that to me over and over again. So I can't rip his in-ring work. So yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. He's main evented pay-per-views. He's been a 3-time TNT champ. I mean, he's been in the spotlight. Wrestled the first match in Dynamite history against Cody. Wrestled the first match in AEW history on the pre-show of Double or Nothing 2019 against Kip Sabian. So he's done a lot of crazy things. And I liked how he said he loves AEW. He's not going anywhere. We heard a similar thing from Jack Perry last week. We've heard that from Darby. That makes me think MJF's probably not going anywhere. That's why these guys are the four pillars.
Yeah, and I loved he said, I'm not using 2024 against me or against them.
Yep.
So
good stuff.
Yeah, it was a pretty good little promo from the little dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, Darby's worked with.
Little, by the way, I like that.
Darby's worked with Sting a lot, and
Yep.
now we're seeing Darby do the rafter thing. Last couple times he's done it, Sting's been with him. Now he's doing it solo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're seeing the passing of the torch from Sting to Darby more and more now.
I mean, this has got to be Sting's last year. Have a couple pay-per-view matches, and he's got to ride off in the sunset, doesn't he?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
Agreed.
think so.
So next we've got the FTW Championship, our third of 4 championship matches. Hook versus Ethan Page. This was surprisingly an interesting match. I'm a fan of Hook. I'm a fan of Ethan Page.
Me too.
But I wasn't sure how these two would mash up together. They mashed up pretty well. Paige throwing Hook into the ring post definitely looked painful. So props to Hook for that one.
We finally got some selling out of Hook. We haven't really seen him sell too much because nobody really gets any shots in on him. But we saw Ethan back him up against the ring apron, throw him against steel steps, throw him against the ring post. I'm still waiting for Ethan to finally get a big. He did beat Darby once, I guess, but I'm fine. I'm waiting for him to get that big win in AEW. He hasn't really had it. But I don't know who's going to be Hook, and it wasn't going to be Ethan. So
did take Hook out of this? Did this feel rushed?
Yeah, it felt shorter than it probably was supposed to be.
But I feel like that's a typical Hook match, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he could go. I mean, look at the guy. I'm sure he could go.
It's time for Hook to go 15, 20 minutes, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. At the end of the match, Isaiah Cassidy provides a distraction. Paige attempts to use the FTW Championship as a weapon. Hardy grabs it. They have a tug of war. Hardy nails Paige with the title itself, which sets Paige up for Red Rum as Paige then taps out. After the match, Hardy and Cassidy head to the back together as Hook shows respect to them with some fist bumps. And my favorite part of this was Taz going, I didn't know any of this was going on. I guess I missed the memo.
Yeah.
Way to show that you're still managing, Taz.
Yeah. Yep. And I liked it. It's continuing that good story that's been built for months on Dark and Elevation between Matt Hardy and Ethan Page and even Isaiah Cassidy. It was Mark Quinn, too, before he got hurt. So now I think we'll finally see the payoff, Matt Hardy against Ethan Page.
Well, commentary did say that, Matt presented a contract. Page didn't even read it. He just signed it.
And I got to... I have to bring up a tweet from Shep's favorite, Mr. Stokely Hathaway, because he had a pretty good tweet on this. Come on.
That's probably on your favorites page, isn't it, Danner?
No.
Yeah, you should have these things pulled up and ready to go. Jeez.
I should.
It's like, we're running a podcast or something here.
Here we go. I knew not to trust Matt Hardy. Anyone who still wears JNCO jeans in 2023 is a sick individual. Another one, the Stokely was right folder.
Did he just make a Jinko?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Good old Jinkos, man.
Paul, did you wear those in high school?
I did not. I wore the parachute pants. The goth parachute pants with safety pins and the little straps. And, yeah. That's a rabbit hole for its own show.
I had a couple kids in my grade were the old Jinkos.
I think I wore Jinkos.
I don't even know what these things are. I'm going to have to Google them.
You don't know what Jinkos are, Tanner?
Wow.
No.
Did you ever go to
I cannot. I don't think I had anybody in high school. You got to remember, I was in high school from 06 through 2010. So
yeah, I'm showing my age, aren't I?
Yeah.
But, geez, these things are expensive. Online, they're like $135 to $225.
Well, they are.
Well, they weren't that. Yeah, they weren't that when we were kids. They were like $60.
Wow.
Which $50-$60. But I had a pair of Jinko shorts that I wore one summer, and that was like the last summer I ever wore shorts. So
I do want to give Shep a shout out. We had one of our listeners, the guy who's running the AEW Fantasy League that Paul and I are in, that you didn't get your picks in, Ship.
I know. I've been busy.
I know you have.
Trying to sell a house. Good Lord.
He said he loved the denim segment last week. He thought that was hilarious.
Denim's a devil for sure.
But yeah, did you wear Jinkos in school, Shep?
No, I did not. Even though I loved Korn, Limp Bizkit, and the band, the alternative stuff. I love that stuff, but never had a pair. Yeah, I remember Shep was a big boy in high school, so some of that stuff didn't fit big boys. Even though they're like bell bottom jeans, like it didn't fit big guys. So yeah, I didn't. Early high school, I had a little Abercrombie stuff, but then big guys didn't fit into Abercrombie stuff, so I had to find some neutralized stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I had the Abercrombie, American Eagle, Hollister, Aeropostale, all that crap.
Dude, Hollister and Aeropostale, like, if you would have got me a double X in that, it would have been a belly shirt. I would have been like,
yeah, they were tight
stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, Tanner, you're a little.
Yeah, I know.
This is number 4, just so you're aware.
Rabbit holes?
Number 4,
it's early.
Oh, we're talking about high school clothes? Yeah.
All right. So next we go backstage with Nigel McGuinness and Tony Khan.
New addition to AEW. Great addition, by the way.
Yes. As they make the
announcement.
Hey,
hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, Paul. I don't mean to be rude. But I called when you were at the store today handing over this little guy right here. You go, what's the big announcement? I said, hey, we're going to Europe because they just signed Nigel McGuinness. And you're like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. Go ahead and finish your saying now. Go ahead.
Okay. TK reveals 5 years ago there were 5 pioneers, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega. They put on All In. They got interest from around the world. AEW reveals on Sunday, August 27th. The company is going to London, England, and it will be AEW's first All In. Adam Cole then turns up and says that the show is coming to London's Wembley Stadium. Hold 90K.
I mean, just think about that. Their biggest show to date's been Arthur Ashe, which holds about 20. You can fit 4 of Arthur Ashe, 4+ in Wembley.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm pumped. It was a huge announcement.
Go for it.
Stack that card up. Literally, go all in and stack that thing as much as you can. If that means bringing CM Punk back, bring him back. I don't care. Whatever. Stack that thing. Get whoever you can. Get any free agent available.
Well, here's the best part about AEW versus the other guys. They have the opportunities to bring in outsiders.
Right.
Vikingo and CMLL. Obviously, he's going to be on that show. And the guy's a nut job. And I love him. You're going to bring guys from New Japan in. You're in London. You're going to bring Ospreay in.
Oh, yeah.
Ospreay's going to be on that show.
Yep.
I'll bet you guys a donut to a Jefferson. I'm going to say $1. Usually donut to $1. No, I'll bet you guys a donut to a Jefferson. Ospreay's going to be on that show.
Oh, he will. He might.
A bottle or just a drink?
Whatever you want, Paul.
I mean, we might get Ospreay Omega too there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best part about AEW. We have the options to do that. Where Stamford, Connecticut, tight asses don't. And yeah,
Look,
I think they sell that place out. They will sell that place out.
That would get everybody's attention if they do that. I mean,
all right. Look, we will get Brock, Goldberg, Taker, all at Saudi Arabia from the other guys. Don't worry.
Sure, that's a given. They'll probably have Cody win the title over there, idiots.
Yeah, the Saudi title that means nothing.
But yeah, Thomas Galloway, I feel bad because he sent this question in about 40 minutes ago, but I didn't want to fast forward, so hopefully he's listening at a later time. He asked what we thought of the announcement of Tony Khan and AEW All In coming to London in August. We're all pumped about it.
Fantastic.
I'm excited to even think what the card's going to look like. I mean, AEW is starting to click on all cylinders again, and it helps that a lot of the big boys are healthy. I mean, we got Double or Nothing coming up next month in May. Then we got Forbidden Door in June, and then we got now this in August. Whew. A lot of big shows coming up.
And you could have some great storylines coming out of Forbidden Door going into this.
Sure can. Yep.
You could what's the word I'm looking at? You could stack, I guess is snowball. Yeah, you could snowball this out of Forbidden Door into this because you have the capability to do it because you're AEW and you're open-minded.
Well, and Europe has been dying. I mean, they're hardcore fans over there, pro wrestling fans. They've been dying for an AEW show. So their first one's going to be 90,000. Maybe you do Okada Omega again. If Okada would agree to it. And that's a big one. I'm just trying to think of something. I mean, I'm just trying to think of what the main event would be.
But you got Tanahashi, too, available.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody could coexist, I don't foresee this happening. But maybe that's where you could do the Elite versus FTR and Punk. I don't foresee that happening, but maybe. I don't know.
I think you have a better shot at that because of there's some open negotiations.
Yeah, right.
There's talks.
Yes.
They're not talking with each other. So
yeah. So
I know what we won't see.
What's that?
Cody
the villain.
Oh, and the villain too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In his home country, and we still won't see him.
No,
he's done. I hate to say that. I love the guy. He's done.
Yeah.
All right. Did something else happen with the old villain?
He was booked on a show, and they canceled the entire show because the venue pulled because of him.
Yeah, he's pretty much toast, I think.
So he's done with CM. He was with AAA or CM.
He was doing some stuff, down Mexico for a while, but
but
it's going to be a crazy show. I take this as they're not doing All Out this year because usually All Out in September. Right. I knew they weren't going to run it at Allstate in Rosemont, but they were talking about doing it at United Center or a different city. So I'm guessing this takes part of that. And if I'm Tony Khan, now that you have the rights, since you bought ROH last year, to use the name All In, because ROH held the rights to that, I would just replace All Out with All In, because I think All Out's going to be remembered for the Brawl Out, unfortunately, from last year. So just replace it with All In and run with it from now on.
Yeah.
Yep, this is how you completely not erase, because everybody's still going to talk about Brawl Out, but Brawl In doesn't sound as good as Brawl Out.
Well, and a lot of people might complain that this is going to be a Sunday in August instead of the Sunday of Labor Day weekend, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So it'll be tape delayed for us, right?
That's a good question because I haven't seen a pay-per-view in Europe in ages, and now WWE's going over there for Money in the Bank this summer, and AEW's going over there for this. So I don't know if it's going to be tape delayed or we're just at a weird time over there.
That or we watch it at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We could.
Does it say on the
It does
graphic?
not. I just looked it up. I had it pulled up because I had to send it to somebody.
Sunday in August, by the way. Just like I like to party on Sunday.
Put it on your phone, connect it to something on your boat. You'll be fine.
That's a good point, Paul.
Stream it on a projector outside the Moose.
Sunny, I got one of those big floppy hats on, and I like to drink tequila and the water.
The last big event at Wembley for wrestling was 92 SummerSlam. Can either of you tell me what the main event was for that event?
No.
It was British Bulldog and Bret Hart.
Yep, for the Intercontinental.
Yeah. I'm still there on the main events, Paul.
Yeah, he's on fire. I made that its own YouTube video last week.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That was
you got your own video, Shep.
Hey, that was also the event where the Legion of Doom got bumped to the front because the dude was too whack.
Hawk was out of it. Yeah, it was bad.
And
that was on Dark Side.
Yeah. That was
That was the Jeff Hardy versus Sting way before Jeff Hardy versus Sting and TNA happened. So,
Yep. All right. Dynamite.
Yes.
Hey, we have a
BCC.
Dynamite tonight?
BCC in action against three
Jobbers.
unknown individuals. One that looked like a heavier set, darker version of Santino Marella. One looked like a younger, skinnier version of Kofi Kingston. And one looked like he wanted to be part of the House of Black.
I thought that was our buddy Turbo or Floyd or whatever his name was
first,
for a second.
I thought so, and then I saw the
Magnum Turbo, whatever his name is.
Yeah, then I saw the face paint, and I went, "Yep, nope."
Yep.
Shep, you were behind on this, and of course, BCC gets the victory here. I was telling Tanner, you'd have really showed the heel side tonight. So I think him dropping that pure championship allows him to be the heel that he's needed to be for BCC. Because just in less than a week, he's already a bigger heel than he was last week.
Yeah. And then Danielson called him a shithead, didn't he?
Shithead.
Yeah, little shithead.
Even though he's a little shithead, I still love him.
Yeah. So no, I like it.
Yep. Danielson with a great promo here, talking about how they are the only professionals. Says that these guys looked like they were hired by the EVPs, throwing that EVP out again.
Yep.
And then he says they're the only professional wrestlers in the building. Hangman comes power walking down, as he tends to do, only to get the crap kicked out of him and a screwdriver dug into his face somewhere.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make it look like his eye, but
yeah,
I kept waiting for somebody to come save him. Kenny or not the Bucks, because they're out of commission right now with injuries, but
Cutler and Nakazawa
they would have
running
been
down.
worthless. They would have been worthless.
It would have been funny though.
No,
They're the only two that haven't been completely taken out by these guys.
Well, we know from BT now that Hangman's figured out by talking with Cutler that Callis is the main problem why he and Kenny and the guys aren't getting along yet. So.
Yeah, and he has to go deal with the BBC.
Yep. Yeah. But good stuff out of Danielson. I mean, Danielson was beloved by everybody a month ago when he was going to get MJF. Now he's the ultimate heel, going against Hangman in the Elite, and calling everybody amateurs throughout the EVPs tonight titles. So good stuff.
Yeah. My only complaint here is we could have said amateurs less times.
Yes, if you would have taken a shot every time Danielson said amateur tonight, you would have been you'd been a little sleepy.
Except Shep, he'd be going, "Let's do more."
I've been ready to party, but yeah, he said it about 16 times.
Yeah.
In a row.
Yeah. It's
Good
quite
Lord.
a few.
And it was amateurs. Amateurs. Not amateurs.
So
but, hey, to each their own.
When he put that screwdriver out, I immediately went back to the last pay-per-view.
The fork.
The fork.
Yeah.
And the fork was real because it's splattered blood. I'm thinking they're going to use that now, and it was kind of like
I'm sure that's the difference between pay-per-view and cable. Yeah. Except we did see Nick Gage and Jericho and the Pizza Cutter and Domino's. Never forget that.
That was $1 million.
Domino's never in ads since, I don't think, on Dynamite.
Well,
yeah.
The only difference was you had Moxley versus Danielson. So
yeah.
I feel like he was like, yeah, I'm not going to I'll make it work. Where Moxley's like, I don't give a, you know what?
Yep.
I'm just going to go for it
the
hard way.
Yep.
So a little different character there, but
true.
All right. Main event time. We've kind of already talked about this. This was for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, our fourth title defense of the night. FTR's careers on the line. FTR picks up the victory. As Shep already gave us what happened in the main event. But in case you weren't listening at that point in time, double pin, roll up. Yeah, that gets the win. But we see Harwood fighting back is Wheeler or Cash, then blocks a double team by diving from the top rope to roll up Colton, while Harwood does the same to Austin as they become new champions and save their careers.
The Broadcast podcast from Australia says, "Evening, gentlemen. Evening, right back to you. Thanks for tuning in."
Australia, I love you. You got some badass sprint car racing in Australia. I got some buddies that race down there.
5 or 6.
I got 5 or 6. 3, I think, actually. But
I was talking to Tanner.
He was counting rabbit holes.
Sorry. I love the Australian guys. I got some good buddies that race down in Australia, so I love you guys.
They'll have some golfers in contention in the Masters, too, starting tomorrow, I think. So,
Really?
Yeah, Adam Scott, he'll be in contention. Scotty plays well there.
Anyway,
But fun main event. It had me on the edge of my seat. I thought FTR would win, but there was a lot of close pinfalls. The Guns were trying everything they could do to get disqualified. I like them wearing the HBK inspired gear. They came out to 50 cents mini men. I don't know how much money TK had a license for that, but that was a pretty big one. I know that
50 Cent has no money nowadays.
that's true. So maybe it wasn't as much as
It
I
might have
thinking.
been 50 cents.
That guy had his own video game at one time. He was so popular, but not so much anymore. But fun match, and the Guns, they've done their job well. They're shithead heels, even though Ethan Page had both of them on his last a vlog on his toy hunt, his toy chase vlog on Sunday, and Austin Gunn's hilarious. Outside his character, he is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. If you like those AEW vlogs or wrestler vlogs, go check that one out. Austin was a lot more entertaining than Colton was off outside the ring. But
What's the name? It's the name.
Yep.
Yeah. He's even more
That's the name.
entertaining inside the ring. So,
But good match. Good hard-fought win by FTR to become the 2-time AEW Tag Champs. I think that's 10 times overall they've been Tag Champs. No.
What, in the last year?
I'm trying to, never mind. I was going to say maybe it's 10 different belts they've won through 10 different promotions. I forget what their numbers are up to. That Nax talks about it all the time, but I don't remember. But anyways, FTR's not going anywhere. That's what tonight showed.
Yep.
So,
Post-match briefly shown because, we got the 3 count as it hit 10 o'clock. Mark Briscoe comes running down, celebrate with the guys, which is great to see.
That used to be CM Punk's spot, but,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, if you had a referee that didn't delay every count for the last 5 minutes, you would have had another 30, 40 seconds on there to see Mark Briscoe, but whatever.
I do wish. I mean, I know they kept hyping it up like on the graphic and saying it's belts against careers, but they didn't show any video packages or anything for that match. I didn't think they hyped it up as much as they could have. But
I think MJF Day took longer than it was supposed to.
Something did, because this match I think came on with 16, 17 minutes left. I thought I'd at least get 20.
Yeah, when the BCC came on with 30 minutes left, I went, "This is quick."
So the whole MJF thing, the guy that was talking, he wasn't the mayor.
They called him the director of the city or supervisor of the city. Yeah, I don't know, but he got booed out of the building.
He's not well liked.
No,
not at all.
Well, like Paul and I were talking when you took a bathroom break. Most politicians in town aren't very liked. So. Yeah,
Oyster Bay is obviously not a very big town, so
I think the entire town was at AEW.
Well, let's look up the population of Oyster Bay, New York, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's the same. We're in lovely Rochester, Indiana. Maybe
it looks very similar. Population in 2020 was 6,160.
And we got right at 6,000, right?
I'm checking.
Yeah. I mean,
so everybody went to Dynamite tonight.
So we love our mayor, right?
Yeah, and Rochester as of last year was 6,258. So
Yeah, we love our mayor. He's awesome. Look at our golf course. It's like
But here on
No politics, Shep.
if you Google Rochester, it shows who the mayor is. If you Google Oyster Bay, it doesn't, but it does let you know the mascot's the Baymen, the Oyster Bay Baymen. Awesome.
good for
I feel
us
like
to
that
know.
could be Adam Cole.
The Bay Bay.
Hey, Bay.
Hey,
He should have came out tonight with a Bay Bay shirt.
Hey,
it would have been great.
at least Oyster Bay did have a mayor that goes after their golf course.
Hey, no politics on the podcast.
Sorry.
No, it's not even that. It's just we don't have enough listeners from Rochester, Indiana that would care. So our listeners are nationwide, worldwide. Canada, Australia, Germany.
They love us.
We're still in the top 300 wrestling podcasts in Germany, so thank you to our German listeners.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love German beer.
There we go.
It's so good.
There we go.
You guys
I'd like to say it's
beer.
the last name is technically German, but that'd just be me trying to be all egotistical.
Look at Paul throwing out big words at almost midnight.
It's only 11:30.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At midnight, I start getting tired.
we
It's
still
early for us.
we still got a interesting segment to get into. So
How we do.
Yeah, so
Right.
we're done with Dynamite. So let's talk about our wrestler of the night, shall we?
yep, rating a wrestler.
Yes, let's do both.
All right,
Let's start with rating.
all right.
Tried to switch it up, but no.
Who's going first there, mediator?
I'll go first. I really enjoyed this show. This one's gonna get, even though it was a fast-paced show, things did seem a little rushed at points. It's getting an 8.4 from me.
You stole my rating, you jerk.
Yes.
God damn it. Fine.
Stole your title and your rating.
Yes.
So go
Shep.
ahead, Tanner.
All right. Well,
Okay.
last week I went 8-8. I think last week.
8.6, 8.8, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll go 8-6 tonight. I still really enjoyed it. I thought the first half was as good as last week's. Second half, there's a few things missed a little, but I think Dynamite's cooking right now. AEW's cooking.
And if I would have gone 8.6, Shep, he would have gone 8.8. He's got to try to one up me.
No. Man, I hope I don't get hate for this, but if it wasn't for the women's match, I'd be with you guys, but I'm going 7-9.
Knew you couldn't get in the 8s. Knew you had to be the 7s.
Couldn't even go 8 even or 7-9.
That's a rookie score. 8's a rookie score.
Eight's a rookie score. But I'm not. I literally fast forward through that match and I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
So I just.
It's only because of Rio.
I still
Yeah.
Where's Jade Cargill on Dynamite?
Yeah. If it was Jade Cargill,
She's just on Rampage. Or this week, Battle of the Belts, I think. Which, my God, they flew through that crap. Rampage and Battle of the Belts. I couldn't even tell you what's going on.
Hold on. The Battle of Belts looks absolutely shit.
those events are not
All the
fun to watch.
champions, all the champions are facing YouTube players.
Did they say Kalisto? Did I see that correctly
Yeah.
tonight?
Orange Cassidy and
The guy from the Lucha House Party?
yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah, he used to be.
Listigo. Sorry, a Listigo.
Oh. I thought they were
Sorry.
talking about the guy from the.
It's a Listigo.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a list. Happens.
But yeah, on Rampage, her and Taya will sit down and talk face to face, and then she's on Battle of the Belts.
I mean, I'll watch it
How
because
does
it'll be late
QT
at night.
Marshall
But
get on Battle of the Belts.
him and Hobbs are going against the Lucha Bros for the ROH tag titles.
Again, how does QT Marshall get a title shot?
Because
I
it's
don't know.
QT Marshall.
Yeah, well, I'm never mind.
I
All right, next.
superstar of the night, guys. Shep, you lead us off.
Oh, Chefs. Yeah.
Max Harwood.
That was the most predictable thing in the history of this podcast. Paul, you go next.
Even though that dude's got a little bit of a belly now. Got a little bit of belly. I like it.
You know what? I'm going to go with somebody who didn't actually wrestle tonight. I'm going to go Matt Hardy.
All right.
Hey, just finally turned it on Paige. I liked it.
I thought you were going to go Jay White maybe when you said that.
No, I thought about it, but no.
I'm going Buddy Matthews. I thought he shined in that trios match.
I almost went Buddy too, so don't worry there.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
Yep.
All right. Now we've spent an hour and 15 minutes discussing Dynamite and
discussing what the podcast is about. Yeah.
Let's dive into the fun, non-related. You won't find this in the title anywhere. Let's talk about Stanford, Connecticut.
Well, I missed.
Hey, they won a national championship in basketball.
Yeah, they're dynasty, man.
Oh,
That's
okay.
5 in our lifetime.
Oh, we're not talking about basketball?
No, wrestling.
Oh,
I missed night 1, but
Did you
everybody
watch
was
it
saying
back?
I watched highlights of it back,
Okay.
but everybody was saying night 1 was the killer night of the 2. I did watch all of night 2. Bits I liked, bits I didn't like.
Yeah.
Did not see the Shane McMahon return coming, even though it lasted 39 seconds.
his poor knees. His poor knees.
That dude was out of breath anyways. I'm like, what have you been doing, Shane? Have you even trained to come back?
Well, and like I said Sunday night, the dude was out of shape when
Yeah.
he got to the ring
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
90s.
But I mean, got a big pop from the crowd. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on backstage? Because he had screwed up that Royal Rumble last year so bad that Vince said he would never get another pop in the company ever again. So I didn't think you'd ever see him again. And then tore his quad. Then we got Snoop Dogg going impromptu and saving the segment, really, even though it was the worst people's elbow ever. And then the next match, we got the Hell
Because
in
it
a
was the dog father.
Dude,
elbow.
I mean, real quick, how does Snoop know to save that segment?
I don't know if somebody's told him real quick, like go in there, punch, hit a move, or if he just did it on his own. I hope we find out, because if he did it on his own, he did better impromptu than 80% of the wrestlers could have.
Yeah, I mean, he got in there and he's like, dude, you all right? And you could tell that's when I knew it was real.
And we know Snoop was stoned.
Oh yeah.
When
Still
is it
all the time.
Snoop?
Well, and I knew it was legit when the camera was just pinning in on Miz. It wasn't showing Shane at all. I knew he effed up his leg real bad. So,
Yep.
But then they got the Hell in a Cell match after that, which was weird. I knew we were gonna get Brood Edge, but it was like a new version, and the only reason you knew it was Brood Edge was it said Brood Edge. Besides that, he didn't have any old school. And then he went to his current theme, and then you had the demon Finn Balor that didn't look like the demon of old. He looked weird. And then there was really no blood in the Hell in a Cell match because Finn gets busted open nastily by but they had stopped
that wrong.
They have to stop the match to give him staples. Continue, so I'm like, all right, so we can't have blood in Hell in a Cell even anymore. And then so I'm like, this show's going off the rails. Then we got the main event. This is the reason I wanted to even bring it up. Cody versus Roman. We're all Cody fans here. Ben, since this podcast started, Ben, since AEW started, Paul's was Cody fan before then.
Since his debut.
And, it was time to finish the story. But WWE's like, nah, we're not finishing it. It's just another chapter in the story. And it wasn't even so much that for me. It was how it happened. You had to have the bloodline interfere. You had to have Solo, who's already been kicked out, interfere. That's what pisses me off about the Roman Reigns stuff. He wins the same way more times than not, with interference. He doesn't win by himself.
Well, see, here's what got me. All right, I'm sitting there watching this match, and I've watched the Rumble. I watched one or two other pay-per-views over the last year. Watched Mania last year. Watched a handful of Raws. Normally just went to YouTube to watch the Cody segments back, honestly. But I'm sitting there watching this, and I said, all right, the Usos are going to come down. They're going to interfere. KO and Zayn are going to come down.
Right.
They're going to break that up. Cody's going to start getting a chance to come back. Solo's going to come back, and it's going to screw Cody.
Called it. Yeah.
Should have freaking bet on that.
It did, I think, send shockwaves. I mean, I was shocked because I thought Cody would win. I mean, I think everybody kind of thought he was going to win, just how it was playing up. He's hot as he's ever been. Timing's right, because I personally think the story before he tore his pec was, this is just my opinion, I don't know. I think he was going to face Roman at SummerSlam and lose, build himself back up, win at the Rumble, then win at Mania. So I'm thinking they're probably thinking, okay, we have to have him face some adversity. But I can make the argument that he's faced plenty of adversity. He went through an injury and he faced adversity before he got back to WWE. You're never going to have him hotter than you just had him this weekend and you didn't pull the trigger. That's what pisses me off. What bigger freaking moment are you going to have? I wanted to pull the trigger. What bigger moment are you going to have than WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles at SoFi in front of 80,000 than that?
Philly next year.
It's not. No guarantee he's going to be as hot. No guarantee.
I know.
What if he tears his pec again? Then you didn't take advantage of it.
My question is, and I've been doing a lot of research since Sunday night at midnight. The joys of working the morning shift again. Are they trying to knock some names off of the longest reigning champion list? Because Reigns is quickly approaching, and if the goal is SummerSlam, we knock a couple of those names off in the top 5.
I'm over the 1,000 days. That was the big thing coming out. I'm over the 1,000 days. He was 945 going in. Who gives a about 15 days?
Well, Bianca Belair's still champ because she's closing in on some names that they're trying to erase from the history books.
At least she shows up and wrestles.
Yeah,
well, I get that. I'm just saying another example.
I mean, I'm afraid he's going to take the titles and leave for 2 to 3 months. I mean,
good. He'll show up at SummerSlam.
That was one thing when Brock used to do it, but now it's another thing when you got 2 titles on the same guy.
Yeah.
And SummerSlam is still a big deal, but it's not Mania. Mania is the all and be all of professional wrestling. I mean, you had all eyeballs, even casual fans or people that have Peacock for $4.99. Oh, WrestleMania, cool! I'm gonna check it out. And you blew it. You freaking blew it.
So can I go down a little bit of a rabbit hole?
Absolutely.
Going into Mania, we knew the sale of WWE was done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we knew it. Cody is not a Cody's not a Vince guy. Okay, he doesn't have the size, the build. He's done, right? So even though Triple H, I'll give Triple H credit on this one. Triple H did his work and built this guy up. He's told the story. He put the time in, and then Vince comes in and is like, look at Roman compared to Cody, the size. Like, come on, man, right? You're not gonna do that. Yeah.
All right.
I'm done.
I went and pulled the because WWE announces where all their pay-per-views are going forward. August 5th is SummerSlam from Detroit, so it is now labeled Detroit SummerSlam.
And did you know that's out of their next 4 pay-per-views, that's the only one in America?
Yes. We have Bianca, Cody, Rhea, Brock, Charlotte, Roman, and Ray on the poster.
So you're going to dick around all summer with Brock versus Cody?
Yep.
I'm fine with that feud.
Triple threat match.
Because I find Brock Lesnar matches entertaining because they're physical as hell. And they're kind of unpredictable at times. But it still, in my opinion, would have been better to have Cody win the damn title and then have Brock beat him up. And then that's your feud. You could have done that. But no. We're not going to give him the title. And they blew it. They fumbled it. They fumbled the bag again.
Triple threat SummerSlam, Cody, Brock, Roman.
Oh, okay. Cody looks like the fucking midget there.
Yep.
Sorry.
That will be truly overcoming
like
everything.
People. Like I don't want to be rude, but Like, no, that doesn't
No,
work.
I know,
I've
but
already,
that will be Cody has overcome everything. He fought off the bloodline. Now he's fighting off Roman and Brock. He beats both of them, holds up the titles. Yay, Cody. That'll be
Okay.
if
Okay.
they put the title on him. That's when it'll be.
Okay. I can see that, Paul, right? But I don't see that crowd being any hotter than Mania.
No, you're never going to have a crowd that hot.
That was the moment.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. And knowing Vince, he'll give Cody the title at Madison Square Garden because that's where they gave his daddy the title and took it away.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they do in Philly next year, it's going to be weird. They'll have Cody probably like running up the steps like Rocky, and then that Philly crowd's going to boo him because Philly's ruthless.
Yeah, and Philly's over the whole Rocky thing.
Yeah, I want to go to a Mania. It is on my bucket list. It's one of the things as a professional wrestling fan I want to do eventually. But I haven't been that pissed off after a wrestling event in a while.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Where'd the rubber chicken come from?
Somebody threw it.
Somebody threw it and hit him in the head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was supposed to be for Roman, hit him in the head. But,
yeah, and I guess the guy who threw it was going nuts. And like Brandy had to call to get security down. I guess he was going nuts.
So my whole thing on this whole deal was I was not a WWE fan. I was watching this. It got me hooked I didn't watch Saturday. I watched Sunday.
Right, me too.
It was a tradition. It's a tradition for me back before AEW was. Mm-hmm. On Sunday, I order a local pizza joint's pizza, have some cocktails, and I watch Mania, right?
Yep.
Did that this year.
Well, I had some, yeah, you're right. So I did that
I did.
this year.
I don't know if you did.
No, I did. And then I watched. I'm like, man, it's not a bad show. And then we had this main event, and it shit on it.
Yep.
And
yep. I should have known going into the match when Cody went over and kissed Brandy and held Liberty. And
gave Brody Lee his belt.
Yes, and gave Brody Jr. Because usually you do that stuff after.
-1. -1.
Mr. Brody Lee Jr. as they announced him as.
Usually you do that stuff after the match. So the fact that they did it before, I should have known there something was up. But
see now, and maybe I felt hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
When he did that, saw his wife, held his child. I'm like, all right, they're doing this the right way.
Yep. No, the story was right there. And I saw Heyman come out today, or maybe it was yesterday, said that he thinks Cody Rhodes is coming out of WrestleMania as a bigger star. I'm like, bullshit. No. Bullshit. No, I mean, I don't think he's lost stardom, but that was the moment. I mean, and I guarantee you, people who tuned in Monday, like the 2 million some people who did, they're not tuning in next week because that show was such crap. That show was awful Monday. Awful.
Your biggest reveal on that Monday was fucking Riddle.
I can't stand him. And he was basically naked on TV.
When isn't he basically naked?
Well, he didn't even have like board short. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
I don't know.
I just, the only good things about that show were the segments Cody was in. Cody, Brock, Roman stuff at the start and the finish. Even though I was actually excited to see Brock wrestle on Raw for the first time since 02 and in a tag for the first time since 06, and they swerved me there. But I think Cody Brock will be fun, but I'm still pissed it doesn't have the title on the line because Cody should be champ.
Well, at this point with Brock, if Brock doesn't put Cody over,
oh my God. Won. Yeah. And now with Vince back, control, and if Vince shows up on SmackDown Friday night, they're all screwed. Yeah. Maybe it was only like, I'm in LA, I'm putting the headset on for one more night, I'm going to give this one more go. Because you could tell it wasn't, and I'm not a WWE fan per se. I mean, I wish it was good along with AEW, give me more to watch, but I'm more of just a Cody Rhodes fan. I tune in from time to time, but I will say under Triple H, Paul Levesque, Hunter, whatever you want to call him, it was way better than when Vince had control. You could tell that was a Vince McMahon show Monday night.
Oh, the last 8 months just got shit on by him.
Yep. And you could tell a lot of people are pissed. You could tell Becky Lynch was pissed in her segment because everything felt like it was just line by line forced the other night, promo wise. Kevin Owens was awful. If Vince is back running creative, AEW's licking its chops because there's going to be a lot of talent available because a lot of people are going to get cut. A lot of people are going to ask to be released, and a lot of people are going to wait till their deals are up and then leave. And that's why I thought it was important for Tony to hit it out of the park tonight, and I thought he did.
And Paul's going to have a mustache like Vince.
Oh, boy.
Never. No. Never.
That guy's a piece of trash. He shouldn't.
Look, I struggle to grow facial hair, okay? But I am not. No. This is what you get. It's not. I'm not bringing it down.
This took me like a couple years.
And that's what pisses me off about this whole Endeavor thing with them and the UFC is Vince found the one company that was going to let him stick around. Because according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, every other suitor that was interested said Vince would be the roadblock. They didn't want to put up with Vince.
Look at this company. Yep. This company let a CEO of UFC slap his wife
100%.
And then turn around 2 weeks later and have a freaking TV show slapping people.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. So now he's got Dana and Vince that he's got to work with. So
so you got two damaged properties, in my opinion.
Yep.
But you just have a F ton of money.
Yep.
I'm going to say the F word because I don't want the E.
Oh, we already got it. We've already dropped a few. Yeah.
You got a fuck ton of money. You're backing Dana White and Vince McMahon. Like, look, sorry, money talks. Bullshit walks, right? Like, come on.
But see, here's the thing that really concerns me. Brock's a Dana guy.
Brock can go back UFC. He get pummeled.
No.
Hey,
no. I'm not saying
your head knocked in.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying Dana likes him.
Sure.
Okay. How long until Dana's influence does Brock get another title?
Go ahead.
Interesting thing though is Dana White and Tony Khan have a really good relationship too. That's the interesting thing about this. So
listen, if Dana White starts putting his input into professional wrestling, I quit. I'm done. I will just talk to you guys on Saturdays when I watch MWA and CML. Dana White sucks. Nothing. He's good at what he does. Okay, good for him. He was a professional boxing promoter that was a failure and slid his way in there because his two best friends own the Palm Casino and Resort and backed him to this stupid fighting thing. If Dana White puts his thing in professional wrestling, screw that. Screw him.
Tony won't let him. Tony won't let him come to UFC. I'm just saying they have a good relationship, but he won't let him.
Yeah,
Nobody's.
I'm just talking about the WWE.
Oh, well. But Vince isn't in the weeds, Austin. Vince isn't in the weeds. That's what he says. That guy is the biggest liar. He lied 4 years ago. He said that when he gave Bischoff and Heyman control of Raw and SmackDown, and that lasted a month, 2 months.
But that could have been the smartest thing Vince ever did. Those two guys are brilliant minds.
I know, and he didn't give it a chance.
Bischoff can go.
He could be a loose cannon, but he I mean, in the '90s, he knew what he was doing.
His rabbit holes make Shep look good.
Yeah.
But Dana White, don't you dare get him involved in this. If Dana White gets involved in SmackDown or Raw, we're done. We're done. Close. You might as well put that on freaking streaming device where no cable television will touch the damn shit.
I know who's going to dethrone Reigns. Conor McGregor. There we go.
I quit. Yeah, Conor McGregor. Yeah, look, the 155-pound guy can sell some whiskey.
He walks like Vince.
Yeah. You know who made Conor McGregor? You're gonna laugh at this, and call me I'm wrong. You know who in the Midwest? Yeah, we're the Midwest guys, right?
Yeah.
Who made Conor McGregor with his walk?
Pat.
Yes, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee imitated the Conor McGregor walk and made him known in the Midwest. Okay?
Not wrong.
Okay. Now, who does Pat work for?
Yep.
WWE.
Even though that was a good swerve because they act like he wasn't gonna be around for a while. They popped up a Mania with him and Kittle.
Oh,
that was cool.
Too much talk about it. Cole and Graves were just too heavy on the, it's been a year since we, last year at Mania, he showed up and you said you didn't know anything. I know you knew. And like, he's showing up. It's Mania.
Yeah. So
I didn't pop this year like I did last year.
Pat McAfee's $1 million.
That's why I'm hoping.
Unfortunately, he's involved with the dipshit company.
Yep.
Called WWE.
Yep. But that's why we talk mostly AEW here, because that's the promotion we enjoy the most. We enjoy a lot of promotions, but that's the one we enjoy the most. And
they fired up here the last.
That's all right. They deserve it. The way they closed out that Mania, they deserve it because they just crapped on everything good they were doing in that story.
And they passed on Jay White.
Idiots. And all those guys Hunter re-signed. Have you noticed since like 3 months ago, Hunter hadn't signed anybody? And all those guys re-signed haven't been on TV. I bet a lot of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw that after the sale, Hunter got a $5 million bonus.
Yeah, Nick Khan got 15.
Now, why wouldn't you give Hunter more than Nick Khan?
Nick Khan's got
more valuable than Nick Khan.
Nick Khan was hired to get this sale done originally from the WWE, and he did his job. Oh. So he is, and like Paul said, he is listed today in Endeavor. He is the president of WWE's Nick Khan. That's his title.
Triple H isn't even on the higher ups anymore.
Of course,
completely gone.
Okay, so Triple H gets a $5 million bonus. Vince passes away.
What I feel bad is how's this affecting the McMahon Levesque family behind closed doors?
Well, I mean, McMahon doesn't.
He doesn't care about anybody.
Him and Linda are done.
Oh, so I mean,
they're gone.
Yeah.
So, when Vince passes away, you got Shane and Stephanie. They split it in half,
but with the sale now, where does that leave them?
Well,
do they get anything when Vince dies now?
Yeah, but you split. Vince got some cash, so.
Well, yeah.
You split his, whatever, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's been an interesting.
I mean, think about it. The guy showed up with jet black hair and a freaking cornstar mustache, and he talked. Oh my god, like, come on, guys.
Well, and I got pissed. I don't know if you guys watched that CNBC interview with him and the guy from Endeavor. What pissed me off as the guy from Endeavor was, Vince wanted to walk away, but I wasn't going to let him. I'm like, why the hell not? Let him walk. Let him get out of here. Let him get away from wrestling forever.
You got a guy outside of wrestling that has no idea what the hell's going on. And you look at Vince's track record from the 80s to now.
I know he grew the company from $1 million, which he bought it for, to $9.1 billion or whatever, but
he did okay.
Yeah, but
he's still a jackalope.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul likes him.
No. Wow, Shep.
Sorry.
Damn.
Sorry, you've been quiet for the last 2 minutes.
But here's the sad thing. I'm still convinced he could come out on a Raw or a SmackDown, and the crowd would bow down to him when No Chance in Hell comes on. That's how they're brainwashed.
I
would hope not, but they would.
If they're buying a ticket for them, yeah.
Yeah, if Vince is going out there to get cheers, they'll cheer. If they're going out there to get booed, they'll boo.
I would buy a WWE ticket just to watch Cody Rhodes. That's my only reason I'd buy a ticket.
I'm the same with you.
Yep. Besides that, and there's some other talents I don't mind. I mean, I know they work hard, but
I would love to see, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Yeah. So there's some up there.
There's some up there. I think
they're AJ Styles, even though he's hurt. I like AJ Styles a lot, but but they're just when I know who's in control, that rubs me the wrong way. That guy should not be anywhere close to that company. So.
I do have to say, Tanner, if you haven't watched it yet, the 2 matches from night 1, I would suggest you watch the Mysterio match and the tag match.
Yeah, I've seen highlights, but I need to go back and watch those. And
the SmackDown women's match. throw that one in there.
I heard that was really
too.
good. I heard the Cena theory. They said the crowd was so pro Cena, but it looked like Cena wasn't into it.
Yes.
So why the hell did he come back?
It led off the show and it was weird.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He was all for it up on the ramp, but once he got to the ring, he was like a completely different person.
That's too bad, because too bad John couldn't go like he used to be able to. So.
I don't even think it was that. He didn't vibe with Theory.
Yeah.
It didn't look right. It looked like your favorite match that you got when you were a little kid and you went to a live show.
Yeah.
With Taker and Kali. It was that style of match.
God, Punjabi prison, that thing. That was actually Big Show and Taker.
Big Show. My bad.
It was even worse.
My
bad. Awful. Yeah.
That terrible thing.
That pay-per-view
That's how terrible it was. I forgot who was in it.
Pay-per-view sucked. So.
But all right, boys. Any final thoughts on the wrestling world tonight?
Oh, it's been a crazy last week in the wrestling world. News every day, every single day. Unfortunately, a lot of it's more negative than positive. But, and we get a lot of our news. At least I do from Fightful. So subscribe to Fightful Select for $5 a month. It's worth your $5. I'll give SRS a plug there. He's got good podcasts, good backstage info. Really dove deep last night into the Vince McMahon stuff. Just kind of unbelievable, everything that's happened. So, but nope, enjoyed Dynamite tonight. Glad we at least got to talk about something positive for a while. And looking forward to Dynamite next week. Looking forward to the next few months, these big events. Fun time to be an All Elite Wrestling fan.
Yeah, I know. This is 2 weeks in a row. I get worried when Austin just disappears from the podcast in the middle of it. Yeah, so we'll start to wrap this up here on behalf of Austin Shepard, the KOP Predictions champion, who probably doing fatherly things. We'll give him that credit. So if you haven't yet, check out kickingOutShop.com. It's your place to go for all of your merchandise. Support a great podcast. Look great doing so. No current promos going on right now that I am aware of.
Nah, be on the lookout maybe in the next couple weeks.
So there you go. Be on the lookout. Hopefully next week I'll be sipping out of my KOP mug. Shirts are being printed now, so those are taking a little bit longer. I was hoping it would all be one package. Looks like it could be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But hey, he's back.
I'm back.
I got worried. Last week you dumped your computer, it looked like. This week you just flew off like the Flash. So
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Hope you're okay. But all right, we were wrapping things up, Shep. So I just told everybody to go to kickingOutShop.com to get their merchandise. So go get your merchandise, Shep.
Yes, let's get our merchandise and let's have more of those people buy those shirts that say, "What are we drinking?"
Yeah, I didn't get that one this time. That's on my my next order, a hat and a shirt. But be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all forms of social media at Kicking Out Pod. Listen to the Kicking Out podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, give us that 5-star rating because we want to be 5-star KOP. You can get that shirt as well. Be sure to follow Tanner Lee on all social media at TannerLee92. Follow your Kicking Out podcast predictions champion, Austin Shepard, at the Shep27. Be sure to follow myself at Paul Zartman 921. And with that, on behalf of Tanner Lee and Austin Shepard, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.